Hi there, how are you? This is Stacie Tatera, medium healer teacher, and a little late this week getting our angel card reading in. This is my both of my daughters' spring break week, and we had some things going on earlier this week, and so this was really my first opportunity to get the angel card reading in after the Easter holiday. I hope everyone had a really nice Easter and that you're enjoying the week. The weather seems to be breaking a little bit here in the Midwest, which has been very nice. So I hope wherever you are, wherever you're watching from, you're doing well, weather is good, you're feeling good, and you're ready for this week's angel card reading. So you can find me at MilwaukeeMedium.com or StacieTatera.com. I do offer private and group sessions at my center in Oak Creek, just actually south of the airport here in Milwaukee. So if you ever have an interest in doing something in person, in a group, or even over the phone, please let me know. All of my services and classes are listed on the website by finding the Schedule Now button. Other reminder, my Spiritual Foundation class coming up, I can't believe it, May 11th. I do have some openings for that class. It's an all-day class at the Crown Plaza in Milwaukee, just by the airport. If you have an interest in signing up, please do so. If for some reason you find that you may need a little help financially, I'm more than happy to do some kind of a payment plan for you. The class is $140 for an all-day class. So, you know, sometimes that can be tough for people, sometimes not, whatever the situation is. If you feel like you need some assistance and would like to do a payment plan or payment option for the class, please reach out to me personally, privately, MilwaukeeMedium@gmail.com or through Facebook, and I will get back to you about that, okay? So excited, this week we're using the Divine Energy Oracle cards. This is a really nice deck. I've had an opportunity to play with it a few times. It was one of the new decks that I ordered a couple weeks ago when Hay House had their sale. And this is by Sonia Coquette, and I like a lot of her work, her books. If you like this deck and you're interested, I encourage you to look into getting one of her decks or something like that. Excuse me. But at any rate, I like her cards. So we'll see what the angels and guides have to say to us today. I like this deck because we're really tapping into that divine energy, getting those kinds of insights. They're very simple, but very powerful. So let's see what we have going on. Because we're midweek, we're gonna, you know, this reading is for this week, moving into the weekend. I did have 4 cards pop out. So let's see what we have going on. Okay. So the first card is Do What You Love. A lot of her cards have scenes from Paris because I think that's where she actually lives, in France. Do what you love. This is about finding your passion and doing what you love. We are in a space and a time where many of us are trying to figure out what is our passion, what is it that we want to do with our lives. And the reminder from Spirit is do what you love. The other thing about that too is as you're making decisions in your life about various situations and circumstances, it's kind of that follow your heart message, and do what you love, do what feels good to you, but making sure that you're really honoring yourself and you're not putting yourself in situations or circumstances that make you feel uneasy or uncomfortable. What we're doing in every aspect of our life right now needs to be that we're doing something that we love, something that we're passionate about. And last week we were asked to have courage to move forward with passion. And so I feel like that passion theme and that courage theme is kind of following us through the month of April. Okay, so the first card is Do What You Love. Wake Up Call. So this is interesting because I feel like this is really about really looking at different aspects of your life. So a lot of times we view a wake-up call as something like you need to realize and understand what's going on in your life around you, with friendships, with work, kind of like, well, that was a wake-up call. And it could be a situation that kind of pops you upside the head, a universal smackdown, or I like to say, well, you just whacked a tree, a universal tree. Because until you learn some of the lessons that Spirit is asking you to learn, we tend to keep kind of bumping into the same kinds of situations, scenarios, relationships, even the challenges that we face within ourselves. We're here to do work while we're here. And the work isn't meant to be scary or something that is not something we can accomplish, because it is. But the wake-up call is really, couple things. You may be feeling like you're getting some wake-up calls. You're starting to see things very clearly, more openly, more honestly. And you're like, well, I know I've needed to do something about this situation, and now's the time for me to do that. The other thing too is that, like I said, just being more mindful about what is going on in your life. What is a wake-up call for you? What could be a wake-up call for someone else? Are you a part of someone else's wake-up call by speaking your truth, by being honest, by being working in that heart space, that integrity space? So there's kind of a dual meaning to this, depending on where you're at and what resonates for you today. But I feel like there might be some of us that are like getting some wake-up calls. Things are being put in front of us, and we really need to take a look at what's going on and say, okay, how do I want to move forward with this? What are some things that I can change in myself or the circumstances? It also might be something where the universe is just asking you to be aware, so that when things do shift, you're ready for that shift, right? So it's a situation where you have things going on in your life, and there may not be anything that you can do about it right now, but in your mind, you're like, this is my wake-up call. I know when the time comes, I'm going to need to make some changes and shifting, and so be patient with that process. The next card, which is interesting because this is a message that I've been receiving in meditation, is remember to be grateful. Count your blessings. Sometimes we really can focus on the shit going on in our life, the things that need to be fixed, or we think need to be fixed. We're looking at, all the work that lies ahead. We're looking at how things could be better. For many of us, it's like, well, this situation with my kids could be better, or my weight loss and fitness program should be different. And so we tend to get really down on ourselves. And I think this message really is about counting our blessings, being grateful for what we do have. Because again, it's super easy to get caught up in what we don't have, what we still need, what we haven't yet accomplished. I fall into that trap myself. And so it was interesting because my spirit team and my meditation in the last couple of days, because I get really in my head sometimes with everything that I feel I need to do, is count your blessings. Let's be grateful for where you're at. Let's be grateful for the progress that you've made. Let's be grateful for pretty much everything going on in your life, because gratitude and counting your blessings and being in that gratitude space, and we've talked about this, carries a vibration as high as love. Love is the highest vibrational energy. That's why we feel good when we're in that space. When we're in that fear and anger and yuck space, it does not feel good to us. So I think it's about taking some time to kind of reflect on the blessings that you do have right now in your life, because we've been asked to really do a lot of work, and a lot of us are being pushed to do that work, it's been a ride. I mean, there's just no question. And my coworker colleagues and I we laugh and joke about it in some ways. It's like, dude, this earth plane is no joke, because it gets tough. And, we experience loss, we experience betrayal, we experience, lots of ups and downs, but we also experience a lot of situations where things are very, very good. And so don't underestimate who you are. Don't underestimate how far you've come. Count your blessings. And then it's interesting because I feel like this is for the weekend, is that rejuvenate card. So as we're doing all of this work and we're, trying to really take inventory, especially as we come off that full moon energy from last week. We need time to rejuvenate. This is that self-care card. As you're doing your work, as you're, dedicating your time to meditation and emotional digging in, how much time are you taking to really recharge your batteries? How much time are we taking to disconnect from social media? How much time are we taking to disconnect from our phones, our computers, things that keep us plugged in? How much time do we take away from work? When we're at work, we're at work. When we go home, are we still at work? Right? So if we're always thinking about work and we don't give ourselves time to disconnect from certain situations, it could be issues with our children. It could be issues with our spouse, with family. Like if we don't ever give ourselves a break from all of that stuff, we never have time to rejuvenate and we don't have time to recharge our batteries. And what Spirit's talking to me about too is sleep. So for many of us, sleep isn't something that comes easy. Sometimes for us, we can experience those ups and downs where we sleep well for a while and then it goes off. So, making sure you're setting yourself up to really do what you can to get a good night's sleep, that when you're resting, you're disconnecting. Maybe set a little rule for yourself that after a certain period of time, after like a time at night, 8, 9 o'clock at night, you're like, I'm done on my phone, I'm done on my computer, I'll read my book. Doing something that helps you regenerate, meditation, going outside and grounding yourself, getting into nature now that the weather's breaking, going for a bike ride, going for a walk. There's a ton of things that we can do to rejuvenate and kind of recharge those batteries. You have to do what works well for you based on your schedule and your lifestyle. But I do really feel like this is a really important card. Like when you have a day off, are you taking the day off? And I can think of a couple people in my mind and I'm like, nope, they don't. It's like, oh, I'm off. What can I do to stay busy? You need to have that downtime. You need to have that time where you sit around and lounge a little bit. That's okay to do that. We've really kind of pushed ourselves in this society that if you're not busy and doing something all of the time, then something's wrong with you. And that's not really the case. You find your happy medium in all of that, right? So interesting cards this week. I love the reading for this week, especially as we come out of Easter, kind of that rebirth energy. We're doing what we love. We're being mindful of the wake-up calls that are coming in front of us. Like how many times does Spirit have to put the same message and sign in front of you before you go, okay, this is me. I need to make some adjustments here. And then being grateful by counting your blessings and rejuvenating, refreshing, doing what you can to recharge, okay? So great cards. Again, this is the Divine Energy Oracle card deck that I used this week, a new deck. We haven't used this one. I always like to keep things fresh and then, sometimes pull out the ones that I've had for forever. Always great messages indeed. So again, you can find me at milwaukeemedium.com or stacietatera.com. You can schedule directly on my website. I am scheduling into June and July right now. I know my schedule goes out about 14 weeks and every week it releases another week. And I realize that it's scheduling out pretty far and I appreciate your patience and flexibility in getting in with me. The practice is busy and for that I'm very grateful, counting my blessings, but that's due to you. So thank you so much. And again, if you have an interest in the Spiritual Foundation class, it's all things spiritual, helping you to build a really solid foundation and have a really good understanding of what you can do to start a spiritual practice or build upon what you do have. It's a very interactive class. So again, you can sign up directly on my website. If you have issues, need payment plan options, I'm open to that. I just want people to be there and hear the information. So I'm happy to help, okay? So thanks. Have a great rest of the week. We will definitely see you next Monday. Appreciate you watching. Take care. God bless.